District Attorney Sandra, Doorley, Sheriff Todd, Baxter. My name is Chris Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I have never committed a crime. Should one judge determine guilt or innocence in any court in Monroe County? The answer is no. The answer from you has to be yes, because you use one judge to obliterate a life and abridge the civil and constitutional rights of innocent citizens. I have appeared before Alex Renzi in New York State Supreme Court. I have appeared before John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Penfield Court. I have appeared before Paul C. Metzer in Penfield Court. A prosecutor has never talked in court for me, and I have been in jail as an innocent man 6 times. This is why you're corrupt, District Attorney Sandra Doorley and Sheriff Todd Baxter, because you love the fact that one judge can determine guilt or innocence. And with a corrupt judge that's consumed with power, like Alex Renzi, Paul C. Metzer, and John P. Lomenzo Jr., it will always be guilt. If Zachary Baxter or Kevin Baxter or Aaron Doorley appear before one judge, and that one judge determined that Zachary Baxter, Kevin Baxter, Aaron Doorley was guilty without a prosecutor talking in court, I guarantee Todd Baxter and Sandra Doorley, you would reach the conclusion that the lives of your children have been shattered by fanaticism. Do the lives of others matter? The answer is no. You, Sandra Doorley, you disgusting sick hack, had to form what you call a conviction integrity unit in your district attorney's office. And I've been demanding, using the Freedom of Information law, what exactly this contraption does. And you're refusing every time to disclose this information to me. This is a document that's going to arrive in your office tomorrow. When I say it's going to arrive in your office tomorrow, this is who it's going to in no particular order. Janice McNair was returning my mail to me. Former employee of the Sheriff's Office, Director of Public Integrity in Monroe County, who should be fired immediately. Do you know why, Todd Baxter? This is Mr. Conflict of Interest. Former employee of the Sheriff's Office. Ground zero for corruption in Monroe County is you, Todd Baxter, and your fanatics, degenerates, sociopaths at the Sheriff's Office. And here is a former employee of the Sheriff's Office, Director of Public Integrity. This is why you're a joke. This is why Janice McNair's a joke. This is why Monroe County is in 1984, with a former employee of the Sheriff's Office is now a patronage hire as the Director of Public Integrity, and he's returning my mail. When I'm telling him I'm being violently attacked by Sheriff's Office employees. When I'm telling him silence is depositing me in jail. So, Janice McNair is going to receive what I'm about to show. Regina Harper, and the envelope's going to come back to me from Regina Harper. My former public defender, Regina Harper, I'm saying in here, tell me the names of my prosecutor, she's going to send it back to me. Mark Phillips, the envelope that's on its way right now at 9:50 p.m. on this February 20th will come back to me from Mark Phillips, too. Because Mark Phillips and Regina Harper know I'm demanding they disclose the names of my prosecutors with silence. This is Paul C. Metzer in Penfield Town Court. You acquired my health care records, Paul C. Metzer, in violation of the Health Insurance Privacy Protection Act of 1996, passed by my former employers, the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives. This is commonly called HIPAA. Do you know what I'm talking about, Paul C. Metzer? You should, because it's in foil documentation I've already sent to the Sheriff's Office and to you. You know, Paul C. Metzer, what only I told my mother and father. And then Sheriff Todd Baxter told you what only I told my mother and father. What am I talking about, Paul C. Metzer? I'm not going to violate my own privacy here on this Google product that you do. But I will come back here and talk about what happened to me when I contact the State Department of Health and the Federal Department of Health and Human Services about you and the office of Governor Kathy Hochul. What are you doing, Paul C. Messler, with my healthcare records right in front of you? And when Todd Baxter delivered my healthcare records to you, did you conclude that this is a crime and an invasion of my privacy? And the answer is no. Here's the $34,000 judge of violence, James P. Jr. Jermaine Bettman stands over me at the gym, punches down, my head snaps back violently. We go out to the vehicle. Andrew Reale arrives. I'm sitting in the back seat of the vehicle. Andrew Reale marches Bettman around to the side of the vehicle, this violent Doug, James P. Jr. And then Jermaine Bettman says these 7 words to me. I want to press charges against you. And with those 7 words, Jermaine, Bettman has me charged with harassment second from $79,000 Andrew Reale. I'm in jail for harassment second, sitting in the back seat of his police vehicle when I appeared for John P. Miles Jr. I'm subpoenaed into Pemberton Town Court. And do you know what I'm about to say, you fossil and hack, James P. Jr.? I'm sitting there in your little star chamber in one of those pew seats. An employee immediately comes up to me, says my name. I confirm my name. She says, you can't be here. Wait out in the hallway. James P. Mully Jr., you negotiated a deal with Jessica Wagner, the district attorney's office, to let this violent Doug go free. Because as I'm sitting out in the hallway, I watched Jermaine Bettman go in with, I believe, his private attorney. He's in there for 5 minutes, he leaves. That's because you believe in violence. You don't know any of the facts and circumstances of what happened to me. It's just a violent Doug. And what I cannot find out, I'm in the process of doing, is if Jermaine L. Bettman has a prior criminal record. Did you talk to Jessica Wagner at the district attorney's office about this plea deal for Jermaine Bettman to let this violent Doug walk right out the door? The answer is yes, because you had to. So here, you, James P. Jr., in contact with Jessica Wagner, who's the violence protection racket for Jermaine Bettman and Jermaine Bettman's attorney. And you're letting him walk right out the door. Does Jermaine Lamar Bettman have a prior criminal record, James P. Jr.? And this is what I'm going to tell the Office of Kathy Hochul, United States Senate Committee on Judiciary, United States House of Representatives Committee on Judiciary, about you. You embrace violence, James P. Jr. Lisa Preston, who's the clerk for Alex Renzi. So if this fossil doesn't know what's going on, perhaps his clerk can give him what I'm demanding of him, which is the names of the prosecutors. Because in my last appearance before Alex Renzi, he told me I was finished and done, which is not true. Because one of you psychopaths, one of you sociopaths, one of you cretins, one of you sick hacks in that district attorney's office is right now in the process of trying to force me back into a court where you know you don't have to talk, and Alex Renzi knows you don't have to talk, or anybody else that's a judge in Monroe County knows you don't have to talk to the district attorney's office. How am I in jail when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court? Michelle Crowley, Lisa Gray, ask your crippled boss, Sandra Doorley, that question and tell this sick hack to stop using her health to generate political points and sympathy. So, Trini Ross is the United States Attorney for the Western District of New York, who's in Buffalo. I'm going to soon contact her with at least 1,000 documents. And I'm on writing about what I'm going to say to her. Michelle Crowley, you convene this grand jury to indict me without even calling me. I've talked about this repeatedly. Do you know the name Michael Houlihan? If I'm talking to you, if you watch me, when I say the name Michael Houlihan, do you know that name? Michael Houlihan's a perjurer. I've contacted you repeatedly about that. Is there a transcript to the grand jury that indicts me when, 1, I don't know the grand jury's convened, 2, you don't call me as a witness, 3, you don't interview me. You don't know a goddamn thing, Michelle Crowley. Why is that? You are the nightmare prosecutor for every citizen in Monroe County, Michelle Crowley. Lisa Graves, the counsel of the district attorney's office, have been in contact with her. The documentation is coming back to me. Sandra Doorley, the district attorney. Conviction Integrity Unit is the confession of the district attorney in Monroe County that innocent citizens are in jail when prosecutors don't talk in court. If her daughter, Erin Doorley, was in jail without a prosecutor talking in court, and then her daughter, Erin Doorley, was in jail when no one's telling her how long the sentence is going to be, District Attorney Sandra Doorley would be in a rage about that, I guarantee it. The lives of others don't matter to you with the district attorney's office. Todd Baxter. Richard J. Seaman walked into the Penfield Public Library and violently attacked me. That doesn't matter to you because you embrace violence. An unidentified Monroe County Sheriff Office employee violently attacked me outside the pharmacy entrance to Wegmans. That doesn't matter to you. Call your female employee with the Marine-style haircut and tattoos into her office and ask her this question. Did you see a citizen violently attack the pharmacy entrance to Wegmans at 2157 Penfield Road? I've been violently attacked repeatedly by your fellow psychopaths. Sworn officers of law with a badge and a weapon are common thugs and criminals. And you, Todd Baxter, are a common thug and criminal. So, you employ psychopath Shannon Meyer. I don't know if you can see this with the glare on the phone. This is parking lot next to where I used to live in that photo. I'm going to make this 8.5 by 11 color photo and send this. Just two of my neighbors walking through the parking lot right there. I've walked this parking lot 4,000 times. Accusatory interview for Shannon Meyer. You gave her a $16,000 raise. This is the freak at the sheriff's office. You love corrupt cops and freaks like the Shannon Meyer. On the above dated approximately 1440 hours HRS, I responded to the above location report of a male trespassing. Leah Kumar and Neeraj Shah not going to the sheriff's office about my neighbors or anybody else. After the fireworks at Harris Whalen Park in 2019, 500 people walked this parking lot. You should have had 500 arrest warrants. I contacted you immediately after that, and within 48 hours, say how many people were arrested. Conviction Integrity Unit, you are such a joke, a disgrace to have this Conviction Integrity Unit, and you're refusing to answer my questions. FOIL, December 22nd, you pathetic diva, you nauseating hack, Sandra Doorley. Freedom of Information Law, documentation for the case for Christopher Chazio Repulse. Excuse me. This is going to be documentation signed by District Attorney Sandra Doorley to create a Conviction Integrity Unit within District Attorney's Office. I'm going to say that again for you. Freedom of Information Law, documentation signed by District Attorney Sandra Doorley to create a Conviction Integrity Unit within the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Is this just your ridiculous public relations vehicle, or does this thing exist? Your Conviction Integrity Unit. If it exists, there are public meetings laws in New York State. So are there minutes to your Conviction Integrity Unit? Freedom of Information Law, January 5th. The minutes to every Conviction Integrity Unit meeting at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office of Sandra Doorley.
District Attorney Sandra Doorley, my name is Chris Chichester. I've never committed a crime. Why did you create within your office a separate bureaucracy called a Conviction Integrity Unit? I believe I know the answer or an answer. I'm going to tell you what I believe it is, but I'm going to contact you in writing about why you created this Conviction Integrity Unit. I believe it's because innocent citizens are sentenced to jail. And a way innocent citizens are sentenced to jail is when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court and a judge has predetermined or pre-decided before a defendant even makes an appearance in court that defendant is guilty. And that's happened to me with John P. Lomenzo Jr. and Paul C. Metzer in Penfield Town Court, and former employee of the District Attorney's Office, Alex Renzi, in New York State Supreme Court. So District Attorney Sandra Doorley, I believe you created a Conviction Integrity Unit because you know innocent citizens are sentenced to jail by fanatical, corrupt judges. But what's your answer? I will contact you with a series of questions via registered mail return receipt for why you created this unit. I read the language on your website, claims of innocence. I don't have a claim of innocence. I am innocent. And there are facts and circumstances I will detail to, and I already have multiple times a registered mail return receipt to your office. I'm on YouTube. You could go to YouTube, type my name, and everything's on there 84 times on why I'm an innocent man. And it's irrelevant to you. Because in the Jonestown that is your Monroe County District Attorney's Office, you are a cliched rubber stamp for whatever Todd Baxter does. There's no such thing as an innocent citizen in the District Attorney's Office. If Sheriff Todd Baxter's fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths arrest an innocent citizen, you will prosecute that innocent citizen, and innocence is totally irrelevant to you. So on your Monroe County District Attorney's website, Madam District Attorney, there is language about this Conviction Integrity Unit. And what does it do? Does it exonerate citizens? Do you say or declare to a citizen, your rights have been violated and you should not have been prosecuted? And we concur that your rights have been violated, you should not have been prosecuted. Is that what you do? If there's a conviction integrity unit where you're demanding or evaluating the integrity of a conviction, then you should exonerate citizens. And I'm such a citizen. So I'm going to contact you with the Freedom of Information Law about what your conviction integrity unit does with 50 plus questions. And what I'm going to hear from you about your own conviction integrity unit, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, is total silence.
And that's exactly right. Total silence. Because here's the foil here. The minutes of every conviction integrity unit meeting at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office of Sandra Doorley. Documentation signed by District Attorney Sandra Doorley, create a conviction integrity unit with the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. I hope to attach this in PDF to this email that I'm using. This is a photograph of the couch. It's next to where I'm sitting here. Over and over and over. I think there's 3,000 documents on here. This is only the Freedom of Information Law. Over and over and over. What I read about the conviction integrity unit is in these documents here. And it's also, this is what's in front of me, this loft amendment in Rochester. Over and over and over. I'm using the foil. This is documentation that's legally binding upon you. And you're refusing every single time. I'm going to fill this out again in the next 2 weeks. I hope to send this to you at least 3 times about this conviction integrity unit. And you'll refuse to answer every single question because you're above the law. You're a ridiculous joke, a cliche in being above the law. And the proof that you're above the law is right here in front of me. You haven't complied with any of these documents. Here, the foil here, ever. I can't even find out the names of my prosecutors from Regina Harper and Mark Phillips. But this is what you received here. I printed this out on 8.5 by 14 called Vice, District Attorney Sandra, Sheriff Todd Baxter, Judge Alex Renzi. Vice answers at First District Attorney Perry Douglas, the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. This is why he's corrupt. This is why you're corrupt. The answer I'm demanding from Perry Douglas, where I say here is, what are the names of my prosecutors? How is it possible to be a citizen sentenced to jail when a prosecutor doesn't talk to court? That's insane. How is it possible for a citizen to demand disclosure of the silent prosecutors? And then a district attorney refuses such disclosure because that's the same. So you're getting this here. Vice. It's a perfect word to describe you. What you're also getting here is these documents here. February 16th. Todd Baxter, Sandra Doorley, your address. Read the attached PDF. That's the Freedom of Information Law. Comply with the attached PDF. That's the Freedom of Information Law. Disclose the names of my prosecutors, silence or sign. Then I have this YouTube here. Sheriff Todd Baxter, $16,000 pay raise freak. 83,291 and 42 cents. Shannon M. Meyer. And then I have a link there to my ex-girlfriend, Laura Riley, who took everything I owned to a storage locker in Webster without a court order. I don't know this is going on when I'm in jail, and everything I own is gone. My dress greens from the 101st Airborne Division are gone. My 1,000+ books are gone. My couch is gone. My bikes are gone. My clothes are gone. My running shoes are gone. Every single thing I own is gone because of you Benito Mussolini scanhead, and you disgusting sick diva Sandra Doorley. I'm going to say this again. Every single thing I own is gone because of you, Todd Baxter, and you, Sandra Doorley, when I've been in jail 6 times, 6 times a prosecutor talk court. What are the names of my prosecutors? Right here. This is on Shannon Meyer. She's the reason why I have nothing. Shannon and Meyer, you gave a $16,000 raise to. Because you love corrupt cops, Todd Baxter, because you are a corrupt cop. February 14th, zealous District Attorney Sandra, Todd Baxter, Alex Renzi, misconduct on the Chief of the Grand Jury Bureau, Michelle Crowley. I'm telling you, Michelle Crowley, on this YouTube, that you're obliterating me with 18 to 24 anonymous idiots that you want to be idiots, where I'm indicted, where I don't know the grand jury's convening. You don't call me Michael will answer perjurer. What am I talking about? Because I've said this now repeatedly. Fleece Todd Baxter sends $155,000, $163,000. Michael Fowler, Saratoga, New York. How do you think you're going to survive in office with this type of junket? By 2 employees that are paid not just $5,000 more than you, not just $10,000 more than you, not just $15,000 more than you. Corey Brown is paid $23,000 more than you, Todd Baxter. Michael Fowler is paid $31,000 more than you. When I contact Thomas B. DeMathley to demand an audit of you, it's one of the first examples for why you should be audited that I'm going to cite. And they're out of Monroe County in Saratoga. I have been to the track in Saratoga more than 100 times. I love that track. Just like hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers that have been to the track there in Saratoga just in the last 5 years. It is an event when the meet convenes. They're in Monroe County. They're supposed to be working in Monroe County. And here they are in Saratoga, New York for an undersheriff's training conference. You Benito Mussolini skinhead. They're having a good time. These two employees that make more money than you in Saratoga. I mean, did they take a Learjet to Saratoga, you Benito Mussolini skinhead? Would they listen to Carly Simon the whole way? So here we have everybody that's included there on that link in the Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's offices. The link here, February 12th. I'm talking directly to you, Michelle Crowley, about that grand jury that indicts me with your 18 to 24 idiots. February 10th, effective. It's a perfect word for you, Todd Baxter, Sandra, and Alex Renzi. Who's decided to force me into Alex Renzi? Tell me the name. Silence of violence, District Attorney Sandra, Todd Baxter, and Judge Alex Renzi. The silence of the District Attorney's office is delivering me to jail. The violence of the Sheriff's office is being exacted upon me. That doesn't matter to you. This is my letter to Robert Valente. You have this. Rob's helping me move. I have to move. Because what's going to happen to me, and I'll have this as a record, I'll leave this loft I'm in. I'll be somewhere in Monroe County, either walking to a store, riding my bike, or running, because I run and ride my bike every day. And then your psychopaths are going to drive up to me. You'll have your 5 vehicles, your 10-plus psychopaths. The handcuffs are going to go on. You're going to take me to a corrupt judge like Alex Renzi or Paul C. Metz or somebody else, and they're going to be in jail where you at the district attorney's office know you don't have to talk in court, and I'll be languishing in jail for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long the corrupt judge wants to keep me in jail. I'll eventually have to be released, and I'm going to come back to YouTube and I'm going to say, I told you this was going to happen to me. Blue wall silence, Todd Baxter. You're the most ridiculous cop cliche. Richard J. Siebens violently attacking me does not matter to you. That's why you're the blue wall silence. That's a reason. There are 500 plus reasons why you're the blue wall silence. Benito Mussolini skinhead. Language requires precision, and sometimes the most basic language is required, such as information. That's why this is called on February 5th to you. Todd Baxter, Sandra, information at District Attorney Sandra and Todd Baxter. The information I'm demanding here is the names of my prosecutor's silence, and if you, Todd Baxter, used taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits commonly called sexual harassment. What's the answer? When you two demand information, you better acquire. When information is demanded of you, you refuse. The hypocrisy of you is predictable. And information, this is all your emails. I only use an email once, and then I change it. I'm paying hundreds of dollars just to change emails. So here we have Regina Harper, Mark Phillips, and Monroe County Public Defender's Office, February 4th. The link that's attached to this one is me, again, telling Regina Harper, Mark Phillips to disclose the names of my prosecutor's silence. I'm going to show you what they sent to me momentarily. So I have Regina Harper, Mark Phillips. On February 4th, I'm saying, what are the names of my prosecutors? My own public defenders won't tell me the names of my prosecutors. That's insane. Insane is a word I'll use over and over. It perfectly captures what you are at the Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's Office. And now, as I blatantly reach this conclusion, the Public Defender's Office. They know the names of my prosecutors. Mark Phillips knows the names. Regina Harper knows the names. And they're refusing to disclose the names to me, and that's insane. So, Psychopaths Inc. right here, February 2nd. And here is you, Lisa Gray. Well, I contacted you on February 4th. Your email's up here, lgray@monroecounty.gov. Perry Douglas, I'm demanding from Perry Douglas the names of my prosecutors. I'm telling you $73,000 Michael Houlihan's a perjurer. And the violence that's being exacted upon me by Richard J. Sieben of the Pembroke Public Library was Seaton stalked me into the library. So what they're doing in Monroe County, if you don't think that's just going to happen to a friend or a family member of you at the district attorney's office, you're insane. This could happen to anybody. If this happens to me, with this Leviathan, that's the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, every single citizen in the county of Monroe is a target for this Benito Mussolini skinhead and his fellow psychopaths, Todd Baxter. So, this is January 26th. These are only the links. Fanaticism, perjury, violence, rejection, accountability. You have it here. I'm going to back this up on a disc just in case something happens to my YouTube channel where I only have one audience. I only care what Attorney General Merrick Garland thinks. And I'm going to send you the disc. And here it is, January 26th. Comply with the attached PDF dated January 26th at 73 Freedom of Information Law documents. This attached PDF will arrive at your office via UPS tomorrow. Mail the information I demand below in Rochester, New York. This includes my prosecutor's silence. I didn't even write that 3 weeks ago. January 24th, Todd, Baxter, Sandra, Doorley. The perfect 2 words to describe you. You're freaks. And then I have, this includes the names of my prosecutor's silence, mail the address to the address listed below, 620 Park Avenue, Rochester, New York. Rejection, accountability. Unethical. I'm running out of words to describe you at the Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney's Office. This year, I believe that the Department of Justice, the Office of Kathy Holcomb, and when I go to this ridiculous media that acts like you're not even around, will have interest in. Todd Baxter, January 16th, a month ago, I didn't hear anything from you. You use the technology upon me. What's the technology? I hate to say this 2-word phrase because I know you can ridicule and mock me. But since you're a fanatic, a degenerate, and a sociopath, I have to use this phrase, Todd Baxter. I have to use this 2-word phrase because of your $83,000 freak Shannon Meyer you gave a $16,000 raise to. January 16th, and I did not use it in here on purpose, but I will after I show you what it is. And if you don't think I'm accurately describing this, tell me, Todd Baxter. January 16th, Todd Baxter, Sheriff, 130 South Plymouth Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14604. This photograph is why you're a fanatic. This photograph is why you're an extremist. This photograph is why you're a liar. This photograph is why I know the name of your $67,000 disgusting act, Shannon Meyer. This photograph is why people hate the police, Christopher Chichester. 620 Park Avenue, PMB, number 361, Rochester, New York, 16004, copy 2. Trinity Ross, United States Attorney for the Western District of New York, Paul C. Answer, James Fiona Jr., Benford Court, Mark Phillips, Christina Harper, Office of Public Defender, Perry Douglas, Michael Rapper. In the District Attorney's Office, Sheriff's Office in particular. This is it. Right here. That's not the color photo, but you can see it. Todd Baxter, you Benito Mussolini skinhead. You disgusting, sickening creep and hack. Is this private technology, or did you buy it and fix it for me with tax dollars? And what's the answer? Elliot Raw, who works at this building, 2025 Penfield Road. Is this private technology, or did this Benito Mussolini skinhead Todd Baxter buy it and fix it for me? What's the answer, Elliot? Because since I lived here for 7 years, and one of the reasons why I decided to live in Penfield when I moved to that address with my ex-girlfriend, Laura Riley, is I know it's safe. Unlike certain parts of Washington, D.C. and Albany, New York, where I've been. What do you need this camera for here, Elliot? Elliot, pay attention. Is this your technology that you have on your building? Because you want to protect your building and your business. Or did the Sheriff's Office buy it and fix it? What's the answer, Elliot? What's the answer, you Benito Mussolini skinhead? Jansen McNabb, the Office of Public Integrity. Who has no integrity? YouTube corrupt Todd Baxter. Rejection, accountability, 2 more. So, over and over and over, refusing. January 10th, it says right here, mail the information on demand to the address below in Rochester, New York. This includes the identification of my names and prosecutor's silence. December 26th, you received in 24 to 48 hours via United Postal Service 67 Freedom of Information Law documents dated December 26, 2020. This documentation also mailed to UPS office on December 26th. The file is attached in PDF. Again, here I'm demanding disclose the names of prosecutors. They didn't write that in the email, but it says it in the documentation. So, and the last one, apply with the attached PDF dated January 3rd, 2023. That is 66 Freedom of Information Law documents. This document will arrive in your office via UPS tomorrow. And then I have to you, Perry Duckles. Perry Duckles, did you read the book, The Elements of Style by E.B. White and William Strunk Jr.? Because you have a problem with the English language. Read that book on usage, Perry Douglas, because Perry Douglas, January 1, 2023, attached a PDF of a 61-page Freedom of Information Law document dated December 20th, 2022 that arrived in your office via UPS. This documentation also arrived December 22nd, December 26, 2022 via UPS. It was tracked. You have it. Print each, bring it to your corrupt boss, District Attorney Sandra. Tell us about that accumulation of health afflictions. Send the information to my addresses below. It includes the names of prosecutor's silence. What's not to understand? I've demanded the names of my prosecutor's silence for 18 months. So I'm demanding the names of my prosecutor's silence from Christina Harper and Mark Phillips of the Public Defender's Office. Right here. This is Christina Harper sending this back to me. This is Christina Harper sending this back to me. This is Christina Harper sending this back to me. Christina Harper, send 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 this back to me. Christina Harper, there's your name right there, Christina. Send this back to me. Mark Phillips, send this back to me. Mark Phillips, send this back to me. Mark Phillips sending this back to me. Mark Phillips sending this back to me. Mark Phillips sending this back to me. What are the names of my prosecutors, Mark Phillips? Mark Phillips sending this back to me. What are the names of my prosecutors, Mark Phillips? Mark Phillips sending this back to me. What are the names of my prosecutors, Mark Phillips? Mark Phillips sending this back to me. What are the names of my prosecutors, Mark Phillips? Do I have civil and constitutional rights? Sheriff Baxter and District Attorney Doorley? The answer is no. A prosecutor's never talked in court for me, and I've been in jail 6 times. That's the lunatic fringe. Silence and violence. Prosecutor's not talking in court. I'm in jail. Employees like Richard J. Seaton, your unidentified employee Webbers, are violently attacking me, which I've told Janice McNair. I'm in jail when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court. I'm being violently attacked by silence and violence. Janice McNair sending this back to me, former employee of the Sheriff's Office. Janice McNair sending this back to me, former employee of the Sheriff's Office. Janice McNair send this back to me, former employee of the Sheriff's Office. Janice McNair send this back to me, former employee of the Sheriff's Office. Janice McNair send it back to me, former employee of the Sheriff's Office. I'm going to take every single one of those envelopes there, and I'm going to send it out to the United States Attorney for West District, New York, Trini Ross, because she'll be able to look at it, at that pile, which would be about 2 feet high, and think, why are they sending this back to them? When you're taxpayer-supported public employees, do you think that this is a private law firm you're at? Regina Harper and Mark Phillips? Do you think that you're a private individual, Janice McNair, at the Office of Public Integrity? The answer is no. So, Regina and Mark, I'm going to send this to your office. I'm going to send this to the public defender because I want to list the salaries at the public defender's office. What do you pay Regina and Mark? It's just that simple. I'd like to know what you're paid so I can be delivered to jail where you don't make an argument in court, in open court, that I'm an innocent man. Your job at the public defender's office, and I reluctantly came to this conclusion, is just to come there and fill out a form when I'm supposed to be released. I'm not being defended. I have never been defended by the Monroe County Office of Public Defender. I'm being attacked and forced into courts when we declared guilty where prosecutors not talking in court, that I'm languishing in jail, and there you are, Virginia and Mark, coming there just to do the bureaucratic required process. The bureaucratic required process is for you to just sign a piece of paper and I'm released. That's what I believe. Am I right or wrong? Virginia and Mark, how am I defended by you when you've never talked in court to defend me, exercising your First Amendment right? If you walked into a public place, Regina and Mark, in Monroe County, and had a check like this for $61.39, you would believe that the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is a collection of psychopaths. I had $61.39 in my pocket when Richard J. Seaton violently attacked me. Because then when they took me to Livingston County Jail, I was out-processed at Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and they gave me this check. This is the price of violence. You know what I don't have anymore? Regina and Mark, because the sheriff's attorney, I had to get a new Social Security card because everything is gone. So, February 16th, you received this. There are 10 in here. Over and over and over, this is coming to you. And it doesn't matter to you that I'm demanding public information. Simple public information such as disclosure of my names, my prosecutor's silence. Todd Baxter, did you put those 4 stars on your collar? I believe that you did because you're a narcissist and you're ill and you're sick. Your predecessor sheriff wore civilian clothes, and I've seen pictures of him, and I don't remember him having 4 stars on his collar. Did you think that you wanted to look like a 4-star general and you put those stars on your collar? Because Douglas MacArthur used to concoct his own uniform. Is that who your inspiration is? This is why you're a narcissist. This is why everything revolves around you. You Benito Mussolini skinhead with those 4 stars on your collar. And your 2 pens. I try not to laugh on here anymore, but you are such a joke with your 2 pens and your 4 stars on your collar. And sometimes it's difficult not to laugh. This is my letter to Robert J. Valente that I just sent to the Secretary of Veterans Affairs in Washington, D.C., because Rob's helping me move. That's why I'm mentioning that. I have to move. Because if I don't move in the next 2 to 4 weeks, I'll either get documentation in the mail at my Park Avenue address, or I live next to the transit center, forcing me to court where you don't have to talk to the district attorney's office. And I'll be in jail again. Or I'll be seen anywhere in Monroe County where I go, because I often go into Brighton, and you just pull up to me with your 4 or 5 vehicles, your 10 plus fanatics, the handcuffs will go on and you'll take me to the corrupt judge. And I said this previously. And the reason why I'm saying this again, because if that happens to me, and I believe it will, I'll have a record of it. And then I'll contact the United States Department of Justice, and I'll say Psychopaths Incorporated, the district attorney's office, again, concocted a crime for me. And somebody's doing this to me at your little shack at 47 South Fitzhugh. And who is it, Sandra Doorley? Who's the prosecutor of silence? And who's the psychopath that's putting the screws to me and destroying my life? And who is it? You better disclose the name to me. There is at least one person there that's doing this to me. And who is it? The prosecutor's not backing down. Those are exact words from Regina Harper. Who is it at your little shack? So, David Dice, Julie Hahn, Elizabeth Buckley. Who is it? These are your emails right here on this Gmail called Vice. You know who it is. And you can easily tell me who it is. You can easily disclose my prosecutors. It is insane that I cannot find out the names of prosecutors assigned to my court appearances. So, insane is the Conviction Integrity Unit 2. So, every single one of you employees at the district attorney's office, sheriff's office can walk to that park lot without an arrest warrant, and that's because of $83,000 Shannon Meyer, a corrupt cop that Todd Baxter embraces because he's a corrupt cop. My name is Christopher Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I'm an innocent man.